few is I think is the phrase. Okay, so let's just start by taking a breath together. Whew. Because it's all been a bit intense, hasn't it, recently? All been a bit wild. So, and I love to start a session, a creative session, call it Create and Listen, because this is where we get to create and just allow whatever our soul wants to say to just to land on the page. So lighting a candle for me does that almost instantly. And you go, let's breathe, slow down, take a breath, and let go of all of the things that are on your to-do list for today. Okay. So what I want to do for why I felt called to come to the page today is it's huge, isn't it? Okay. it's huge at the moment. This is all huge. But let's just anchor in the energies of what is going on right now. So today is a full moon eclipse in Virgo. Okay, when for those of you that are new to this process, I like to just get these words onto the page. This starts to anchor some of the energies that are going on around us. So it's a full moon eclipse in Virgo. What's an eclipse? Eclipse is, I like to think of it as a portal. This is everything's aligned. Everything is, oh my goodness, it's like the oil and the wheels. Oil in the wheels. It makes it easy. There's an easeful energy. I mean, it might feel a bit intense, but it feels to me with an eclipse feels easeful. Oh, look, there's a sort of triangle coming there. Wonder what that's about. Full moon. And, if you're following along, just change colour as you see fit. Full moon is all about release. And as I was starting to think about the language and the energies that are coming through in all of this, it's release, and there's a sense of revise, reset, release, renew, refine. When we release the stuff, the stuff that is holding us back, we create space. And we create a huge space over here. Ooh. So, it's all feeling a bit full on, and there's a lot happening, and we don't have control over everything that is happening, but we get to release all of that. We get in the full moon to say, okay, I let it all go. Let it all go. Okay. What's Virgo about? Virgo is about the detail. And it's attention. Virgo's very good at sort of lining everything up. Are all your ducks in a row? Oh, I've got some really powerful rook and crow energy going on around me here. It's about the detail. It's about health. It's about taking care of ourselves. It's health and well-being, but it's very much about the detail. Virgo very much likes patterns, likes order, and line your ducks up, get everything, get in or get in order. It doesn't feel quite right. We'll get some colour and things coming down on here in a bit. Okay, so there's this detail, but there's also, when we think about releasing and letting go, you know, what are we letting go? We actually get to let go of the old patterns, of the old stuff that is getting in the way. We have Jupiter. We have Jupiter in here. It's just, what do I want? What do we want? I want some circle. I feel I want some circles on here. So if we think about, we've got the full moon. We've got the sun is in Pisces, so the moon is in Virgo. The sun is in Pisces. But the moon is also making what they call a harmonious angle with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is all about everything being big and lucky, and there's this alignment. If you've seen anything on, you follow any of the sort of spacey things, it talks about the parade of the planets. Everything's lining up. There's this beautiful alignment going on, that in what we might have we might have feeling that it's all been a bit chaotic recently. You know, that's an understatement possibly. But if we let go of the chaos, if we bring ourselves into alignment, if we let go and release the old patterns, then there's this real sense that the transformation that we can make and that we can bring into being for ourselves is going to be huge. How do we let go? How do we let go? We come to the page. This is one way that I find is a really powerful way of letting go. Is, you know, I might then create another page. I might go over on here and I might go, right, here are all the things. Here are all the things that I feel are in my way. You know, what is in your way? What is in your way? And there's a real everything's feeling a little bit, you know, it's a little bit on the slant here, and of course we've got this alignment coming in. You know, where do we need to change direction? Where do I need to change direction? Reposition yourself. And it's maybe not a complete move, but I love this. There's this reset and refine and revise. You know, have a look at your plans. Maybe you set New Year's intentions and you go, oh my goodness, it's now the 3rd of March. Here we are, 3rd of the 3rd, 3-3 energy is also coming in here, 3rd of the 3rd. 3-3 portal, and it's the 3-3 portal is about balance, it's about creativity, it's about building and creating the life that you want to lead. Build it, create it. Because it can be huge. It can be huge. Remember, when we align ourselves with the energies, with our soul purpose, the impact can be huge. You can have a big impact on what is going on around you. Okay, I want to get some paint on here, and I wasn't 100% sure what colours I wanted to have. The lemon yellow, well, it's a sort of cadmium yellow. But as I'm bringing these colours on to the page, then this is what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to go with some pink. I'm I'm going to go with pink over there. And sometimes I use a palette, but more often than not, more often than not, it just wants to come onto the page. And I like this really dark blue over there. And bear with me, I'm just going to move a bit and get some. I love this turquoise. Okay, so let's grab some of that. Just having a quick check to see if I've actually got a brush at my fingertips. Nearly. I did have a brush. Okay, let's pop some of that turquoise on there. And at this stage, I have no idea really what is wanting to come or to develop onto this page. And when in our smash books and in life, when we get a bit sort of, well, I don't know what to do next, what we do next is we just, in smash booking, we just keep going. We keep going. I loved that shape there. I really want to keep that word, that huge word there. I love the energy of the 3-3. So I'm reinforcing the energy that was coming through as we looked at those words. And just play with the colour. I loved these: refine, renew, reset, release. Maybe those words want to be written with a paintbrush. I've got a little one here. Okay, so what have we got? Release. And maybe if it's not about the words, maybe there's some shapes. Maybe there's some shapes. There's a sort of echo here. It's about refining. And I'm smiling to myself because thinking, well, this page doesn't feel very refined. It all feels a bit of a mess. And in the process of releasing, you know, it can, yeah, it can feel messy. It can feel very messy when we let go of stuff and then we go, well, what's going to move into that place? I'm very drawn to these sort of circly shapes. You know, there's something about, are we coming full circle here? What wants to come through? I was very blessed yesterday. I went to Avebury, which is at the site of stone circles. It is the biggest stone circle in the world, and the message that I was receiving from the stones, and I'm getting today as well, is let's language it. You know, we're coming. We are. Sometimes I get the shape and the colour before I get the words. We are at the point in the zodiac cycle of having closed the circle of the 9-year, and we're now in. Now, you might think of it as a 10-year, you might think of it as a 1-year. 2026. Let's just look at the numerology. 2026. We've been here before. 2026 adds up to 10. And many people say that's a beginning, that's a 1 year. But when we think about it as a 10, if we think about the 10 energy, which is, I was adamant at the start of the year that there's a lot more 10 than there is 1. And 10, of course, is that beginning with the 1, but that 0 is infinite potential. And these circles that want to come onto my page are saying to me, okay, we've closed the loop, we've closed the circle. That cycle of 1 to 9 has ended. We are now in this beautiful portal, the eclipse portal, which come back to that shape there. And you know, we don't always know when we're working in our journals or smash books. You know, we get information coming through and we go, well, I don't have the full picture. I talked to somebody else the other day about, you know, that we don't always get the full picture. And, you know, where we are, the invitation is, when we don't have the full picture, is to take the one next step, to keep doing what we are called to do, even if we don't have, you know, it's like doing a jigsaw puzzle without the picture on the box. And as I'm just moving, I mean, all I'm doing at the moment is moving this colour and moving the energy, and and true to smash booking and all of the messages that I always get coming through is, are you prepared to get your hands dirty? Are you prepared to get stuck in? Virgo, coming back to that, Virgo is all about the detail. You know, are you prepared? Are you ready to make your mark? Are you, you know, what's the detail here that we get to pay attention to, that we get to explore? A sense as well that, you know, we are safe to do this. Let's, you know, if you're feeling, oh my goodness, I can't possibly do that because that's an old conditioning pattern to keep you safe. Well, what we do when we create this boundary around our page is we send a message to our inner critic, our voice of fear, and go, no, I am safe. Look, I'm working within my boundaries. I am safe to do this work. That's the big thing that's coming through for me right now, is that protection piece about doing the work of what we are called to do. And it, you know, that's not something that I'm saying, you know, you have to go out and change the world. Maybe what you are being called to do is to just show up in your family, in your space, with your neighbours. Show up for yourself. A card that I drew for to hold this sacred space of create and listen at the full moon eclipse in Virgo was this beautiful card, which is the Temple card from Rebecca Campbell's deck of ancient stones. And the Temple, the invitation of the Temple is that the wisdom is within, and we get to quieten external noise. What a beautiful message in these times of when it can be quite challenging to quieten external noise, to actually come within. And as I'm looking at my page now, I feel the invitation just to be bathed in these colours. These are the colours that are going to nourish me and to heal me. and I want to, there's a sense of wanting to dive in to this space, these colours. I'm being reminded, I'm being nudged that Mercury is currently retrograde. What does that mean? Everybody panics when Mercury goes retrograde, but Mercury and Virgo are aligned, and what Mercury retrograde allows us to do is, a Mercury retrograde in Pisces allows us to say, are your dreams, do you still want what you thought you wanted? You know, it gives us a second chance. How beautiful that the universe says to us, you know, are you sure? Are you sure? Is that what you want? You know, we get to revisit, we get to refine, we get to reset and revisit the wisdom that is shared with us, and we get to go, oh yes, come and bathe in these colours. I wonder what colours have come to your page. It feels very much that this energy of Virgo, and it's funny because, you know, Virgo is all about detail, and I don't seem to have any detail on my page at all. But that Mercury in Pisces is saying, come and bathe in this, and really rest in these colours. Is there anything else that wants to come through? I'm just feeling this as a really strong shape on my page, and I may need to go over that with I haven't got white, but this is a feeling like there's a pathway here. This is the direction we're going, you know, this leading lines. Of course, you also get that it's talking about perspective. So there's some journaling that I think we could come up with some journaling prompts about, you know, are we going in the right direction here? That's feeling a really strong shape on my page.